You ready for this?
Give me the love it! Now, stay back. We are going to rock your tie.
Oh, this is Sarah Bridgerton.
This is Ruby.
You are wild, brave, and rude. You know you made it worse.
Where shall we go? Anywhere.
It's you.
Space baby! Oh, is it the end of our life? That's not a random landing.
Is it safe?
Listen to me. This is what we're trying to stop. All of life extinguished. Who'll keep us safe? I will keep us safe.
Come on. We've got work to do. There's a storm. Could leave you cold.
Honey,
I'm a much bigger bang than you bargained for.
I will shatter this silly little battlefield into dust. In a heartbeat. Into dust.
I don't have a people, I don't have a home. But I have freedom. Catching on is getting into service. So I keep moving on. To see the next thing. And the next, and the next. Have you ever felt so alive? And that's just the beginning.
Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on X at Movies TV Mad and on Instagram and on Threads at Movies TV Mad X. A very, very warm welcome to the latest edition of the Movies TV Mad Daily. As you can see, this is being recorded in the evening because I've been caught short. I knew they were going to announce all the episodes for season 1 or series 14 or whatever you want to call it, but I didn't realise there was going to be a big trailer. I just thought the little sneak peeks they were showing every time they posted a new episode title. I thought that's what they were going to do. But they actually posted a trailer as well. So it's an opportunity just to do everything together. So what did you think of that trailer? Now, I didn't react too much while watching that because we've pretty much seen a lot of that before. There's a lot of new stuff. We've got Jinx, is it Mawson? And we could hear Anita Dobson's voice as well. So very, very interesting pre-warning of something devastating coming as well. Now, we see a moment where the Doctor has a tear coming down his eye. What is all that about? Look, whether you like the state of current Doctor Who or not, and at this stage, I'm not too sure how to feel, you have to give them credit and kudos for their marketing. They started their marketing drive since the end of March. And it's been a very, very good campaign. Whether you have an agenda against the current era of Doctor Who, whether you're loving it, whether you're excited for it, the marketing is very, very good. They're showing you a slick, young show, an attractive companion, an attractive, young, new Doctor. And I think a lot of people will be sucked in by this marketing. So it's a very good trailer yet again. I did enjoy watching that trailer. I do like the trailer. I would love to know what you think of that trailer. Now, some fans are complaining that most of these episodes are being penned by Russell T Davies. Now, there is an episode, we'll get to it shortly, that's co-penned by Kate Herron, who did run series 1 of Loki, which I wasn't really impressed with. But she's a Disney writer, really. She's a Disney person. Obviously, Disney made sure she wrote one episode or co-wrote one episode this series. So let's get into the episode titles. So the first one is Space Babies, which we saw referred to in this trailer. It's Space Babies. Where the baby's from, we have no idea. It does look like a very light episode for a season premiere. We'll see how that goes. Episode 2, The Devil's Called. Now, this is a very interesting title, called as in music. Now, we know that Ruby is very musically minded and very talented in terms of music. That's what Russell T Davies has already told us. So could it be that somehow the devil is channeling her through music? Now, we have seen the devil, or maybe seen the devil in Doctor Who before, in series 2 of the revival. So this could be music being channeled via Ruby to control Ruby. Very, very interesting. If you find it interesting, I'm not sure. Then we've got Boom, which is very exciting because it's written by Stephen Moffat. Yeah, I'm sure this took him all of 5 seconds to come up with his title. When they showed a promo, a short 4 seconds promo, there was some lasers going across the screen. Looks like an exciting, fast-paced episode. I'm looking forward to Moffat returning because he's one of the few positive elements of Doctor Who today, because when he talks about the show, he seems very, very passionate and still excited about it, and more excited about it than RTD, may I just say that as well. Then there's an episode called 73 Yards. I have absolutely no idea what this could be about. Same with the next one, Dot and the Bubble. Interesting. Could someone called Dot be stuck in a bubble? A little bit of commentary there, yeah? Anyway, and then there's an episode called Rogue. This is the one co-written by former Loki showrunner Kate Herron. So don't be surprised if there's some kind of current day commentary in this episode. Then we've got the first of, I believe, which is a double finale, The Legend of Ruby Sunday. So this is obviously part of the mystery box they teased on the Church on Ruby Road, which was last Christmas's Christmas special. So there's obviously some legend surrounding her. Then we have the Empire of Death. So that will be Russell T Davies' series finale. So comment down below. Let me know what you make of these titles. I'll give it to you straight. Space Babies means nothing to me. The Devil's Called does pique my interest. Boom is by Moffat. That interests me automatically. 73 Yards, I have no idea. Dot and the Bubble, I have no idea. Rogue is co-written by Kate Herron, so I think there's red flags there. And then what I'm thinking is a double finale, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, then the Empire of Death, that do sound at least intriguing, interesting episodes. So as I say, some people are very, very disappointed that Russell T Davies will be writing most of the episodes. I mean, people were hoping for different writers, but we've been here before. Russell used to write a lot of the episodes when he used to run the show before, as did Moffat. And Chibnall was, proclaiming the use of a writer's room before we saw his brand new era of Doctor Who. And what happened? Mostly he wrote the episodes. I'm assuming he was in a writer's room on his own. And again, Russell T Davies didn't promise he wouldn't be writing a lot of the episodes. It's clear he wants to steer the show. His name is on as showrunner. He wants to control the show. Now, unlike a lot of fans, because I do have issues with RTD and how he's conducted himself since he's returned to Doctor Who, I wasn't impressed with the 4 specials we've had of this new era thus far, which has made me be a little bit more negative, because when I first heard he was coming in, I was very, very excited. But I don't think it's a problem that he's writing most of the episodes. In fact, I think it's a good thing, because what kind of writers are going to come in? Now, he said something very interesting last year before the specials were released. He says that there's not a lot of good writers in television, and most writers don't watch TV or like TV. So that was interesting, and that could be part of the reason why he doesn't want Disney or the BBC to force writers he doesn't want to work with. So I'd rather him mould the series than other people come in. Now, this could point to that this will be a very arc-based series, and the mystery box that he teased in the Christmas special will be the forefront of the show. Will there be standalone episodes like there was in his original era? Because normally he did do arc-based seasons. He did do, little mystery boxes, but they were based on one word: Bad Wolf, Torchwood, Harold Saxon, The Bees Are Missing, etc., 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 which is not one word. But mostly he teased his arcs with one word. This freed him up to do a lot of random police box travel and not focus on the arc for a lot of episodes. I don't see that same thing happening this time, because the mystery box is Ruby herself. Yes, Snore, we had this with Clara Oswald. She was the mystery box. She was actually quite an interesting mystery box, if you ask me. But in terms of Ruby, he's done very little in her first episode to develop her character. I simply don't know who Ruby Sunday is. I don't know what she likes. I don't know what her favourite colour is. I don't know if she's happy. Like, we knew that Rose was like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. She hated her reality. She hated going to work. She wanted an adventure. An adventurer came in and took her on the ultimate adventure of a lifetime. So that was Rose. And we basically knew this within the first episode, Rose. But they had longer in Millie Gibson's first episode, Ruby Sunday's first episode. And they did very little on focusing on her character. Yes, we know that she's fostered. We know she's foundling. We know she's a foundling. We know she has an adoptive mother. But we don't know much about her. We didn't really learn much about who she is. And I thought, the church on Ruby Road was a very, very clumsy episode. Like when she saw those little things and she wasn't surprised. She wasn't shocked, which could be part of her mystery, but I don't think so. That was a very weird thing to me. And so I understand that a lot of fans out there are very dubious about what's going on. A lot of people are very suspicious about Disney's involvement. Now, Russell T Davies in a podcast tried to justify Disney's involvement, saying, well, the BBC are going to go out of business. He said, that's inevitable. So we need investment from someone. That's why it's important. He said, not me, but he said, that's why Disney are important. Now, and he said, we don't want to go back to the 80s and be stuck in little rooms and things like that. But what's interesting when you look at these episodes, a lot of them, from what I can see, are Earth-based. Not all of them, but a lot of them will be Earth-based. So, I'm not going to sit here and, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's going to be crap. Oh, it's going to be good. As I've already said, the marketing for it all looks very, very good. If I was a normie, if I had consumed Doctor Who in the past, I would be saying, this looks really, really exciting. The marketing is jumpy, it's fast-paced, it's exciting, Shooty looks good, Millie looks good. It's something that if I didn't watch Doctor Who so much, if I didn't know about the current state of the situation and what's been going on with the Davros situation and the way he was blocking, Russell T Davies was blocking people off his Instagram, if I didn't know all about these circumstances, then I'd be very excited about this new season. There is a part of me that watches that marketing and says, yeah, maybe everything's going to be all right. Maybe this will be a great season of Doctor Who. But what I actually see, because I'm not a normie, I have, consumed Russell T Davies dramas before, and Doctor Who especially, and this just seems very, very Russell T Davies. Yeah, very new Who. Let's make it young. Let's make it youthful. Let's make it pop. And from what I see here, it really is. You got that woman who's in a kind of dated outfit saying, oh, you're amazing, you're rude, you're cocky, you're this. And it really is typical, Russell T Davies, if you ask me. And even though it looks different, I don't think it's going to be that different, in my opinion. I just think we're just going to get the same that we've had from him. But that's what you get with Russell T Davies. He spoke about he wouldn't have come back if he, if he wasn't going to do anything different. And there's some things that could be different, but I don't think, we're reinventing the wheel here. I think at the end of the day, it's the same stuff we've had before, recycled. Now, some people may feel that's okay. I don't mind. It's exciting, but it is a wait and see scenario. But I will say the marketing is very, very good. The way it was frustrating the way they released every episode title, because I thought it was a bit strange at first. We were waiting for a trailer, we didn't get it, so then I thought we wouldn't get one. Then each episode had a 4-second promo. I thought, right, that's what we're going to get. There won't be a proper trailer. I was surprised we got a 2-minute plus trailer, a very good trailer. But the marketing is definitely very, very good. I can't criticize the marketing, and a lot of people will be excited about this. It's one of those things where we are in current day right now, and you don't know whether you can trust people in this industry anymore. Now, before he came back, when I first heard he was coming back, I trusted Russell T Davies. He delivered us great Doctor Who. He revived the show. He brought it back. We wouldn't be talking about having new episodes of Doctor Who if it wasn't for Russell's passion to bring the show back and to petition Jane Tranter in the first place and begging her to bring it back. So I appreciate him for that. But it is a very weird situation, especially with Disney's involvement. But Disney have a little bit of a power struggle. So the Disney that Russell T Davies thought he could be working with could be changing very soon, because there's a power struggle in the boardroom between Nelson Peltz and Bob Iger. And Nelson Peltz is an activist investor. I think we can say he's a right-winger, and he doesn't like the way Disney is going. So how will Russell T Davies be feeling about the addition of Nelson Peltz? And I'm not quite sure how much of an influence he will have. I think he'll have a couple of seats on the board if he wins his mission to, sit on the board. And I think he is going to win that mission. I think he will be sitting on the board. I think there's no stopping that now from what I can see in all the updates that we're getting about that. And it'll be very interesting how Russell feels about that and how this changes the planning. Obviously, Series 1 has already been made. I think they're shooting Series 2 now. And Series 2 could actually be Russell T Davies' final season. Or maybe he'll go on for another couple. Nobody really knows. But in the same podcast, he was defending the decision to bring Disney into the fold. He was saying that he's not contracted with the BBC, that he can leave Doctor Who whenever he wants, but he said he won't because he can be trusted. So this is very, very interesting. He's a clever bloke. He only says things because he wants you to hear them. So it's interesting that he would say that he's not contracted with the BBC and he can leave at any time. This shows me that they're not sure how Doctor Who is going to be received in this initial brand new season. And if it goes tits up, he's going to get out of Dodge. And then it's clever to bring Stephen Moffat into the fold, because if he does have to leave urgently, Moffat can take over. Because as I said earlier, Moffat is still inspired by Doctor Who. But if Russell T Davies hasn't got anything new to say about Doctor Who, how can Stephen Moffat? Well, Stephen Moffat's actually got a huge imagination. I like Stephen Moffat. And I mean, the more I re-watch his era, the more it's growing on me. When I first watched it, I was in love with Russell. And I wasn't really getting what he was doing. But now looking back on it, I get it. And I'm enjoying it a lot more. Maybe a bit more than Russell's original era. Because I think Moffat had a little bit more depth than Russell did. Russell is like what he's doing now. There's a lot of gimmicks there. But is there anything underneath? Is he building a brand new foundation? Pretty companion. She has a secret. She's a mystery. I don't think we're doing anything new here. Do you? I mean, I'd love to know in the comments down below what you feel about this. Do you feel that Russell T Davies is doing something new? Do you think it's Are you excited for brand new Doctor Who, or do you think it's more of the same? I do believe it's more of the same, but the marketing has kind of piqued my interest. But you see, you can do the best marketing you want without there being foundation in the underbelly of the actual show, the actual episodes. It's not going to be worth it. So it's going to be interesting what we get here. I think the Jinx Mawson, or whatever you call them, I think that's going to be a bit of a musical episode. I think there'll be a villain. Could be an interesting episode, who knows. I think the ratings and the numbers for this series will be interesting. I think people will come in out of intrigue for the Space Babies episode, which I think is the series premiere. I'm not sure, but I think it's the series premiere. So, look, I like Ncuti Gatwa. I think he's a very good actor. He's got a lot of, zest and personality. Perfect to play the Doctor. And Millie Gibson is a great kid as well. She's a very good young actor. So, that element should be good. It's about the writing. It's about the planning. It's about the execution. Are we going to get a Doctor Who that entertains us? Are we going to get a Doctor Who that does a little bit more than that? I absolutely have no idea. We're all blind. But we have been shown a big carnival in this marketing. Not literally a carnival, but it looks very colourful, very exciting, and the production values look great. It looks very pacey. It looks very fast moving. It looks like it's something we could enjoy. But when we were seeing the marketing for those not so specials, we felt the same thing. And we didn't get really much about the Beatles episode, which they're going to be doing, which will be interesting as well. But Doctor Who is back with Russell T Davies. And, I am not surprised that it's not going to be that different. That it's pretty much going to be what we've already seen before. But, yeah, I mean, look, I've said this before. If I haven't said this on my platform, I do believe that Doctor Who has a fat Elvis problem. Doctor Who the revival of Doctor Who has been around for nearly 20 years. Next year, the revival would have been, Doctor Who would have been revived for 20 years. Now, it doesn't seem like 20 years. It seems like a young, revived series, but it's not. I think that Russell T Davies and his friends, Stephen Moffat, Mark Gatiss, have given everything they've got to give. And this is why I was speaking about the other day about Sally Wainwright taking over, because I think Sally Wainwright is a genius. I think she's a very, very clever writer, and I think she would have brought something new to the franchise. And it is my belief that Sally was going to take over Doctor Who. Then Russell came back and all that changed. And if you are one of those that's not happy that he's writing all these episodes, it is an interesting situation. Maybe Sally Wainwright should have been allowed to write an episode instead of, Disney princess Kate Herron. I mean, there's nothing more suspicious than an American writing an episode of Doctor Who, Even the movie that was, Americanized, we had a British writer writing it. Look, nothing wrong with someone who's not English writing Doctor Who. I'm joking. But I'm not a fan of Kate Herron because of her ties to Disney. And I think she has a certain viewpoints which she will push within her writing. And I don't expect her episode Rogue to be much cop, but we will see. Could be an episode that actually upsets and annoys fans, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to give her the benefit of the doubt. We'll have to give Russell T Davies the benefit of the doubt. But I think a lot of fans were very disappointed by those 4 specials. And, it hasn't left us with that kind of excitement that we used to have. Because if you don't deliver the excitement and you're not doing the right thing when you're supposed to be celebrating 60 years of Doctor Who, how can we trust you to deliver something special for a new series? But I do believe the revival of Doctor Who has been in a bit of trouble, really going back to Moffat's kind of ending of his era. I found the Chibnall era very, very underwhelming as well. So it's not been great for a long time. It wasn't just Chibnall, it's going back to the end of Moffat's era as well. So it's not like Doctor Who has been thriving. And, you know, you're bringing someone back who admitted at the end of their era, Russell T Davies, that he was running out of ideas. So, you know, I suppose the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Well, I have to wait and see what we actually get from this show and if there's still life in the old beast. Now, I don't know. There's part of me who liked that marketing and thought, right, I'm going to give it a chance. And there's another side of me that thinks, I just don't trust them. I don't trust RTD anymore. I don't trust these people. I don't trust modern day, current day entertainment to deliver something special. But I'm a Doctor Who fan. I will always watch Doctor Who no matter how bad it gets because I love the show. I love the character. And I'm going to go down, you know, I'm going to drown with this show one way or the other. Some of us will stay. Some of us will leave. But we have got 8 brand new episodes, and I'm at the very least intrigued and excited to see what we get from this brand new era, brand new companion, brand new Doctor. 8 brand new episodes. We'll just read them back to you one last time. Space Babies, which looks very odd. The Devil's Called, that could be a very, very dark episode and could have a context to Ruby. Boom is Stephen Moffat's episode, 73 Yards. Dot and the Bubble, and Rogue from Kate Herron, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, and The Empire of Death, which I think will be a 2-part episode, a 2-part season finale. So Russell T Davies always used to give us great finales at the very least. So hopefully he gives us that pomp and circumstance with the finales. Now, in the old days, when Russell was running Doctor Who, it was still fashionable to do end-of-season cliffhangers. It's not fashionable to do that anymore. I miss that. I like end-of-season cliffhangers. I think they're great. Whether it has any context to what you're doing in the following season doesn't matter. It excites people. Now, Russell never used to leave the series at its end in a cliffhanger. He used to, you know, he used to end the story. And maybe a little fun cliffhanger, but nothing too much for the Christmas episode. So we'll see. Now we know we're getting a brand new companion, probably in the middle of Ncuti Gatwa's 2nd series. So we're not going to have a very long time to spend with Millie Gibson. She's gone. She's looking for work. It's not good. Why couldn't she at least have 2 full seasons? It's a bit like, this is why I suspect that Russell might be leaving at the end of series 2, and maybe the new companion won't be around for longer. Maybe the end of season 2 will be the end of Ncuti Gatwa's era as well. Now, since Doctor Who returned, Eccleston did 1 season, Tennant did 3 seasons, 3 full seasons, and then Smith did 3 seasons, and then Peter Capaldi, he did 3 seasons as well. So no one's beat that record. I don't think Ncuti Gatwa will beat that record. I think he's going to have a lot of offers from Hollywood. I think he's he's an up and coming actor. I don't think he's going to stay on Doctor Who for very, very long. And so yeah, they're your episode titles. That's the trailer. Let me know what you think. But I do feel a bit strange about Doctor Who right now. I don't know what to expect, what we're going to get. It's very, very strange. Because in the old days, in the early days of the revival, you trusted Russell. You kind of trusted Stephen Moffat. And it was different times. We are in different times these days, everyone. It does seem like they're shaving against the grain all the time. It does feel like we are fighting against this industry to give us exciting entertainment, to give us great Doctor Who. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge for us to stick with these shows, to stick with these movies they're making today. Because ultimately, even the people that we say are talented, and Russell T Davies has proven he can write and run Doctor Who, but we're at a very different stage. And Disney are running this party. There's no question about that. And with Disney in charge, you can't really trust anything that happens. So We'll have to wait and see. Will it be good? Will it be bad? Will it be mid? We'll just have to wait and see.